Report of the New World, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. I have passed the highest test. These are the words of Donald J. Trump, the current president of the United States. He's actually repeatedly declared himself immune, and we are only like a week removed from when he actually left Walter Reed Hospital after contracting COVID-19 and being hospitalized, where he received what is estimated to be $100,000 worth of treatment, government funded, of course. Now, in doing so, he actually had a rally, a small campaign rally on Saturday on the South Lawn at the White House. In front of he spoke from a balcony, unmasked, talking over a bunch of people, whatever, who knows how many COVID-19 germs he spread. But it was a bunch of Black and Latino people in the crowd too. ABC News reports that conservative activist, Black chick, married to a white man, Candace Owens, actually had financed the travel and the lodging costs for people from her Blexit movement to actually get there. And they're all, I guess maybe they may all possibly get COVID-19 together. Trump actually has plans on going to the Orlando Sanford International Airport in Florida today to have a rally. And he has two big rallies planned, one in Pennsylvania and one in Iowa later in the week. This all comes after the Department of Health in Minnesota actually linked 9 coronavirus cases to Trump back in last month when he had a rally in Bemidji. Now, New York Times is reporting that Trump actually had the idea of using, basically coming out of the hospital, appearing real frail and beat up in front of photographers or whatever, and then all of a sudden busting his shirt open with a Superman tee on under it. This is the type of game they play. They think this shit is a joke or whatever. Hence why I guess you have the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, who actually got together a congressional committee to judge the president's capacity to actually hold his position in office, invoking the 25th Amendment. Now, this will require, or at the end of the day, approval from the Vice President Mike Pence. Maybe he'll find it alluring to actually be like, you know what, Trump, step down. I'll actually take the reins from here because you're crazy as fuck. But these same ideologies will be pushed. Trump just pushing them without knowing what the fuck he's doing. That's what it seemed like, at least. We want to report the truth over here, so we ain't gonna put it out there. I'm gonna say that's what it seemed like. The Green War and Graduation. Report under the world, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So, former lead of the coronavirus task force from early COVID-19 U.S. days back in like February, March, and all of that. Also, the director of the National Institute of Health and Human Services, Dr. Anthony Fauci. He has not ever endorsed a political candidate in over 35 years of public service. So that's why I raised a lot of eyebrows, probably twisted a lot of emotions when y'all saw this Trump ad, this campaign ad that shows him saying, "I can't imagine anybody could be doing anything more." This was actually said in back in March, and this is like a selectively edited. These are selectively edited remarks, and Fauci actually had to disavow this campaign ad, basically saying like, my remarks used by the GOP campaign ad were done without my permission, and the actual words themselves were taken out of context because he was talking about he says this, he was talking about the effort of the entire task force months ago. So that lets you know what type of games they playing. They don't really care about if it's the truth or not. They just wanna, fuck with you. Green War and Graduation. Report of the New World, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. Make sure you check out blackfoxnews.com/opportunities, especially for all you entrepreneurs and you hustlers out there. You trying to get your brand out there. Well, fuck with us, and you can actually get on multiple platforms. You get in our videos, be on our website. We got options for you. So make sure you check out blackfoxnews.com/opportunities. All those looking for a real opportunity, you looking for an internship, we got those two on deck. Check it out, rock with us, because we're going to continue to rock it with y'all and give y'all this news. Now, 7.7 million coronavirus cases in the United States now, with cases and hospitalizations still increasing. Friday was a 2-month daily high for the country. You had 10 states that actually recorded a record day of infections, and also 31 states that have seen a weekly rise of coronavirus cases. So It's on a rise, it seems like, infection rate wise. 7.7 million infections total, 215,000 deaths due to COVID-19 in the U.S. reported. Now, also you have the White House is actually reporting that, according to the New York Times, they're reporting that the White House blocked an order from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, from making an order requiring that everybody wears masks when they're using public or commercial transportation. Very interesting move by both the White House doing the block and the CDC making that order. Nevertheless, you have the Kentucky governor, Andy Beshear, who actually has quarantined him and his family due to somebody on their security team testing positive for COVID-19. So the shit is lurking, and honestly, I can't really. I don't see it getting any better, especially when you have the actual president and the people in the White House that are testing positive for COVID-19 and then not wearing masks or doing any social distancing. So they're gonna spread it to the rest of the country. Wonder how much money they stand to make from that, from Trump having his investments in like Gilead Sciences and who makes Remdesivir and Regeneron. You know what I'm saying? That cocktail that he took that basically said got him feeling like he's cured and all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, real treacherous games being played right now, right before your eyes. So everybody stay woke. And Greenwald and Graduation. Streets reporter of the New World, though the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News Report. Now, you notice you ain't got no $1,200 stimulus check yet, right? Now, I'm saying that's for everybody in the United States. Now, the $1.8 trillion stimulus relief proposal that was put out by the White House is actually rejected by both Democrats and Republicans. Keep this, they really both on opposite sides of the spectrum. With the Republicans saying that it is too costly, they don't like that it's that the relief bill has expanded to include the Affordable Care Act, or aka Obamacare, and but then you have the Democrats saying that it has a lot of shortfalls in as far as like unemployment aid, aid to state and local governments, medical aid. So it's like it's just not hitting. You know what I'm saying? So they both feel like it's doing too much, but on the opposite side of things, or not. Well, one feels like it's doing too much, the other one feels like it's not doing enough. So where is there even room for compromise or overlap? That is insane. I would say recommend everybody don't expect no $1,200 to come save you from anything out in this motherfucker. You better go out and get yours. Greenwald and Graduation. This reporter of the New World, though the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News Report. Hand selected by Donald Trump, Amy Coney Barrett, former appeals court judge and former law professor at University of Notre Dame, actually had Senate confirmation hearings today put underway, and in her pre-released opening statement, she actually said that she will apply the law as written. But there's a lot of evidence out there that's showing that she's been publicly against, Roe versus Wade and been anti-abortion, or at least supported these causes. For example, on this past Friday, she actually had amended her Senate questionnaire to include questions about her talks while at the University of Notre Dame that she was given in 2013 that were actually done by anti-abortion student groups, right? Another example would be back in 2006, she actually had signed off on a newspaper advertisement that called for an end to the barbaric legacy of Roe v. Wade. Now, I think the writing is pretty much on the wall no matter what they say, and that's probably why a lot of the senators, the Democratic senators more specifically, were asking the questions about whether she's going to overturn this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, I can answer that shit. Yeah, she is. You know what I'm saying? Why do you think Trump selected her? You know what I'm saying? You don't think Trump was influenced by his cronies to actually do so because they're all pushing the same agenda? Like, we already know what's coming. You know what I'm saying? So it's best that people really get to these law books and this legislation and really hit the ground running, trying to convince the people to actually take these people out of power. You know what I'm saying? That's the best bet, because that's what apparently the forefathers and the people that came before us set up this government to look like and act like. You know what I mean? So everybody stay woke. Greenwald and Graduation. Report out of the world, though the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News Report, man. Make sure you check out blackfilesnews.com/LPay and create your profile. LPay is LPAI, is an acronym for Let's Post About It, and it allows you to actually have operate in the realm of like a social media platform or like a forum, but you can actually share a lot of information. You can upload your own videos, you can upload YouTube videos, you can actually share any like sort of documents, Excel sheets, whatever you want to actually get your point of across, and we can actually get down to some real nitty gritty truths that we are going to need to actually progress as a community and as a society. What community you talking about? Maybe there's the black community, hip hop community, American community, whatever. You can actually go in there and create your own forum for your own community and do that. Yeah, y'all right wing motherfuckers, crazy ass right wing motherfuckers, y'all welcome too, because maybe y'all got some truths that we overlook and whatever. But at the end of the day, we all need to actually get to some common ground. You know what I'm saying? You could definitely go to the Graduation Party forum that we can actually get busy on some politics shit. But there's other shit you can talk about as well. You know what I mean? That's that for that promo. But now, this Thursday, there was actually supposed to be a presidential debate between President Trump and Joe Biden. Trump has refused to have a virtual debate, even after testing positive for COVID-19, knowing that any sane motherfucker don't want to actually be next to him. Nevertheless, he refused to do so, so they're not going to do it. Instead, Biden is actually going to have a town hall discussion on ABC News on that same day. The next and final presidential debate is set to take place on next Thursday, October 22nd. You know what I'm saying? On your boy's birthday, you feel me? But like, you know, that's what's going down. Green Wall and graduation. Streets report out of the world, though. The Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So, the chair for the Senate Judiciary Committee, Lindsey Graham, Senator of South Carolina, he's actually being challenged by Jamie Harrison, a Democratic contender, black man. And they were actually supposed to debate on Friday, but the debate turned into like just two separate interviews. And the reason being was because Lindsey Graham refused to get a coronavirus test, which has been like the kind of the prerequisite of like before you step into onto a debate stage or whatever. I guess possibly because you interact with so many people, they're already not going to be a crowded situation. So, but you're still going to be intimately involved with a few people. Maybe that's why. I mean, on some level, if you were able to keep your social distance from everybody, I can understand not wanting to take a test. But it sounds kind of fishy. Like maybe he already tested positive for it and don't want to actually take the test. I don't know. This is the chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee. So, and mind you, they had the Senate confirmation hearing for Amy Coney Barrett, Trump's nominee for Supreme Court Justice. White woman who seems anti-abortion right now, and they actually, they're having a hearing. A bunch of the Republican senators up there, no mask. You know what I mean? They're doing what they do. So if he got it, you know what I mean? They might be passing it around to each other, as is what's happening in the White House. Let's be real. Trump was actually supposed to have a virtual debate with Joe Biden, but refused to have it to make it virtual. Maybe because he wouldn't have as much control over the debate. I don't know. He refused to have a virtual debate. He wanted it in person. They wasn't having it because, motherfucker, you tested for COVID at the end of the day. You tested positive and you was in the hospital getting all types of drugs put in you, man. Like the fuck, you sick, man. Ain't nobody trying to be around you except, these blonde Republicans that's out there going to your rally. But nevertheless, back to Jamie Harrison and Lindsey Graham. They did have individual interviews instead on Friday, and you had Jamie Harrison really talking about how how dangerous and how crazy the coronavirus situation was, how it made him cringe, because he knows that 250,000 people in that state do not have access to healthcare due to their state's unwillingness to actually adopt the expansion, Medicaid expansion. So, great war and graduation, man. Report out of the world, though. The Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So, over in Pennsylvania, a federal judge actually blocked an attempt made by Trump's campaign to actually basically limit the amount of drop boxes that are allowed to be out or whatever, or to completely do away with it, saying that there's no evidence that drop boxes and having mail-in drop boxes actually leads to voter fraud. There's just no evidence of it. How many judges have to convince you, MAGA right-wing motherfuckers, that there's no evidence that mail-in voting leads to voter fraud? It just isn't. Now, when you're talking about what they also did, the judge also rejected other attempts at voter suppression, including there was this effort to ask for signature matching for the mail-in votes or whatever, which actually doesn't sound like too crazy of an idea at the very, but at the end of the day, the way it's set up is already optimal. You know what I mean? What judges are basically communicating to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Judges who ain't brought out. Now, also in Texas, you have Governor Greg Abbott, who had a directive last week on limiting one mail drop box per county. But that's actually been halted. That was halted, blocked by a federal judge. this past Friday, and then another judge has actually stayed that blocking. So, right now that directive hangs in a balance. These are just obvious attempts of voter suppression, essentially, or whatever. But we'll see how this all turns out. Green War on graduation, man. News report out of the world, though. The Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black House News report. Now, I've been telling y'all about how Azerbaijan and Armenia, these are two territories that's out there in Europe, near Russia and all of that, whatever. These motherfuckers been warring, like it's Star Wars, you know what I'm saying? Like, over area that's like right there by, the Caucasus Mountains, where Caucasians come from, right? Nevertheless, they actually are, Azerbaijan actually launched fresh air raids on the capital of a disputed area, Nagorno-Karabakh, after a Russia-backed ceasefire that was implemented on Friday, broke less than a day after it was implemented. Now you had Armenia accusing Azerbaijan of actually targeting one of its historic cathedrals, and then you had Azerbaijan accusing Armenia of actually shelling one of its residential area in its second largest city, known as Ganja. So the war is on, and when I say war, we talking about drones, we talking about tanks exchanging fire, and people, armed forces on the ground. Like, it's really on some Star Wars shit. So if you got anybody out there, man, keep them people in your thoughts and your prayers. Green War and graduation. Report out of the world, though. The Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black House News report, man. Shout out to everybody that supported the movement to end SARS, Special Armed Robbery Squad. This is actually a police unit out there in Nigeria that has been filmed and shown to be actually harming and hurting, torturing people, even in some few instances, whatever, killing people. This is a police unit of people that be in plainclothes officers. You know what I'm saying? Just, unidentified, and they just catching wreck on citizens. You know what I mean? People who ain't even really been doing anything wrong. So there was a huge movement. Shout out to all the artists, the rappers and the Afrobeat artists that was actually calling for an end to SARS out there in Nigeria. I think there's even a hashtag in SARS out there. Shout out to Revolt TV for actually putting me onto that portion of it. But SARS has officially been disbanded. Now, critics warn that just reassigning these officers is not going to solve the issue of police brutality, but hopefully it is a start. We'll see what happens. Green War and graduation. Report out of the world, though. The Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. Make sure you check out blackfoxnews.com/shop. I don't got no BFN shop gear on right now, but I stay with that BFN paraphernalia, different colors, shapes, and sizes, and all of that, whatever. And we got all different. When I say different colors, we're talking about stuff that'll match anything in your wardrobe. I don't give a fuck who you are, and to have that Black Fox News logo on you, that should come with integrity. You know what I mean? That should come with prestige, because you see this knowledge and these jewels that I'll be giving to people on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? If you count every gem worth a million. You know what I'm saying? So you add that all up, and you got something that's worth a lot, and we selling it for the low. You know what I mean? Make sure you check out blackfoxnews.com/shop. The link is in the Instagram bio for the Black Fox News page. Now, over to Iraq. In Iraq, you actually have armed groups, militia groups backed by Iran that have actually agreed to a conditional ceasefire on targeting U.S. targets. Remember, they trying to get back for them killing Qasem Soleimani at the beginning of the year. Remember the Iranian, basically the top war general of Iran, whatever, and the second leading person in Iran, right? Nevertheless, they agreed to this and to that ceasefire if Iraq gives the U.S. a timetable on actually removing their troops from Iraq. Now, this comes as last month, the Trump administration actually threatened to shut down the U.S. embassy in Baghdad, Iraq, if these targeted attacks continue to persist. Green War and graduation. This report out of the world, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report, man. Swindler in chief. Trump getting caught out here doing the moves that apparently he's been doing for decades. If you watch any of his documentaries on Netflix, it'll show you. If you're a MAGA lover after this, man, I don't really know what to say to you. It seems like you're down with the corruption and whatever, and you don't support law and order, so there's a hypocrisy there. But nevertheless, you have Trump that's actually now, according to this New York Times report, after they investigated into his taxes, whatever, have revealed that it suggests he used a $30 million loan from City National Bank in Los Angeles to actually prop up his dwindling campaign financing fund weeks before the 2016 election. $21 million that actually went to in unusual payments was spent by like a hotel that he co-owns in Las Vegas, and it was given to it was basically funneled through a bunch of Trump companies, where then those companies like help self-finance Trump's campaign. Now, first off, this is likely to result in like illegal campaign contributions, because you can't just take millions of dollars from no bank to go run for president. Then what the fuck you supposed to do after that? What, you going to just pay them back? You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't work like that. That got corruption written all over it, first off. And second off, these are the times where it was found out that he actually paid only $750 in income tax. So that comes from, like, you know, getting tax breaks or whatever. You know, that's some business shit that if you're able to do that. You can't actually get tax breaks on expenses that are not actual business expenses. These are campaign political expenses for yourself. Like, it's insane. Also, you have Letitia James, the Attorney General of New York, who's actually opening an investigation into Trump Organization actually inflating the value of a property up in Westchester County because Trump owns this land where as part of a conservation easement agreement, he actually agreed to preserve 150 acres of woodland, but at the end of the day, he did it and tried to get a tax break for $21 million. So let me get this straight: were you trying to get $21 million from the government to actually help pay you back for pay City National Bank to pay off that loan, or pay back the money that was supposed to leave from the hotel that you co-own in Las Vegas? And then that was supposed to basically get the government to pay for you to run for president? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, wow. Green War and Graduation. This report out of the world, though, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. Fuck Columbus Day, we got Indigenous Peoples Day. Keystone Pipeline leaking, or dismissal, what people say. You know, I said that in BFN Report broadcast number 15. That comes to mind right now because it got me. I'm thinking about this U.S. border wall. It's actually going over territory, basically, Native American territory. Let me just say that. And obviously the Trump administration doesn't give a fuck. But here's the kicker, though. On Friday, a federal appeals court actually ruled that Trump using the emergency powers in 2019 to actually divert military funds towards the building of the U.S.-Mexico border wall is illegal. Just straight up, it's illegal. Now, we knew it would come to this or whatever, but we didn't know how long. Obviously, we are about over 500 days removed from when Trump actually made that executive order to do so. Now, it's illegal. So where do we go from here? Green War and Graduation. Please report out of the world, though, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So you actually have advocates for human rights and immigration rights that are actually demanding that Immigration and Customs Enforcement, also known as ICE, the strong arm police force for the Department of Homeland Security, that they release these two Cameroonian women that are about to be deported while they're over here at the Montgomery Processing Center in Conroe, Texas. Now, they're doing so after having been at the Irwin Detention Center in Georgia and feeling like they've been the subject of forced sterilizations unknowingly, basically having hysterectomies performed on them. So this is obviously insane, some end of the times bullshit, but if anybody gonna tell it to you, it's gonna be the Streets Report of the New World Order. Green War and Graduation, man, shit is fuck. Streets Report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. Make sure y'all create a profile, sign up with us at blackfoxnews.com/LPAY. LPAY being LPAI is an acronym for Let's Post About It. Let's actually get onto this forum. This is a new social media platform. You don't have to worry about censorship from Facebook or Twitter or any of these other tech conglomerates or whatever. We can actually go here and we can actually exchange information. You can upload your own videos. You can share YouTube videos, watch them on the spot within the forum, share documents, Excel sheet, like whatever you want to actually get down to some truth and some proof, so we can actually move forward with knowledge instead of ignorance. You know what I'm saying? As a people and as a community. Now check this out, though. Onto the news, you actually have Hurricane Delta, the 10th storm to actually hit the Atlantic. The 10th Atlantic storm to actually hit the mainland this season, this year or whatever. This is actually Man, they actually so far has killed one person, and it left the whole towns underwater in Louisiana. Hundreds of thousands of people without power, and this is after like Hurricane Laura had just 6 weeks ago ripped through the same region of Louisiana. So shit is real. Green War and Graduation. Streets report out of the world of the Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. Man, big shout out. This is a big step for hip hop, y'all. But big shout out to rapper slash activist. Former spokesperson for the 2016 presidential Bernie Sanders campaign, talking about half of Run the Jewels, none other than Killer Mike. He teamed up with Bounce TV founder Ryan Glover and former Atlanta mayor, former activist Andrew Young. He teamed up with them to actually form Greenwood Bank. This is a black-owned digital online bank. Digital online be the same thing, right? An online bank that actually is going to service, it caters to Black and Latino people or whatever, and it's set up to actually, provide financial services to them. You know what I mean? Because we already know that banks have repeatedly and disproportionately not given fair service to the Black and brown communities. So here we have an answer to it. And now it's named Greenwood after the Greenwood area that actually was burned down in 1921 by a white mob. A race riot that's also known as the Black Wall Street Massacre or Tulsa race riots, where a mob of white people killed like hundreds of Black people and actually, burnt down their whole community. You know what I mean? Hundreds of businesses burned down, thousands displaced. Like, it's real insane. Well, here we are coming around full circle and providing that, providing wealth opportunities to the Black and brown communities. Killer Mike said upon the announcement, this thing is set to open up in January, pardon me. January is when the bank will officially open. But Killer Mike said that they actually received tens of thousands of requests for account openings as soon as it was announced. And I believe that too, because when I actually put the Graduation Party LLC on there to open an account, we were like number damn near 78,000. You know what I'm saying? As far as like the line that we would have to wait in order to get new accounts. So kudos to him. Hopefully people come follow suit. But this is going to turn into an editor's note. Listen, these people, these white supremacist motherfuckers are not playing fair. So you would be naive to think that they're not going to have hackers or anything like that trying to infiltrate that said system. So I'm calling for all of the best Afro-American, Latino-American programmers and computer geniuses or whatever to actually help this movement and protect it, because a lot of times when people are actually creating programs, they forget about the security side of it. But you do not want your shit to just be hackable, especially when you're dealing with sensitive information, including people's like identity and finances or whatever, like, because you're talking about theft, identity theft, and financial theft. So we need our best programmers that look like us actually on the job to actually protect Greenwood Bank. But big shout out to hip hop, big shout out to Killer Mike. Green War and Graduation, man.